In this video, we are going to talk about the PAFL button. PAFL actually refers to two different things. It refers to pre-fader listen, which is PFL, and it refers to after fader listen, which is AFL. Now, because this is a digital mixing board, we can decide whether we want the inputs to be PFL or AFL. And we can decide separately if we want the outputs to be either PFL or AFL. So what we have done is we have set up the inputs to be PFL and the outputs to be AFL. So pre-fader listen, after fader listen. In this video, we'll focus on the pre-fader listen. In the next video, we'll focus on the after fader listen so you can understand the difference between the two and why this is useful. All right, so what does this button do? When you press this button, then whatever channel you pressed it for, it's going to take a copy of that audio and it's going to send it to the headphones. So if all the PFL buttons are off, then you're not going to hear anything through these headphones. But if I go to a channel, so right now I'm using the host microphone. If I press that PFL button, then you will be able to hear me talking in this headset. This is an input. It is PFL, which means it is going to grab a copy of that audio before it goes through the fader. It is pre-fader, right? So pre-fader also means it's going to pull it before it hits the mute button. So if I mute this, you would not hear me in the speakers in the sanctuary or online or wherever we choose to have it sent to. But if it's muted, you will still be able to hear it in the headphones because PFL, pre-fader listen, it's going to grab a copy and send it to the headphones, but it's going to grab it before it goes through all of this. Okay? So I hope that kind of makes sense. And this is why it's useful. Let's say that a service is going on and you got the musicians are up on stage and all of a sudden you hear some kind of buzzing, but you don't know where it's coming from. Well, with everything muted, you can come over here and just PFL the drums. Nope, I don't hear it there. PFL the bass. Nope, I don't hear it. PFL the electric guitar. Ah, there it is. So even with everything muted, it can all be muted, and you can still hear whatever audio is coming into that channel, right? Because we're grabbing it pre-fader. So before it goes through all of this, that's where we're grabbing the sound. So it's very, very useful for inputs for it to be pre-fader. All right, in the next video, we'll talk about after fader.